The Aquarian, Aquarian. We find ourselves entering into the last week of Capricorn season, the end of the beginning of winter. We are here, and that is pleasant. Although these times can feel unpleasant, trying. The sign of Capricorn is one of the signs of suffering, but of strength. It is testing. It's filled with trials, perhaps, where we're asked to be disciplined, good disciples, as we go through the disc of the year of life, where we deal with such things as death, rebirth. My car is giving me a little bit of trouble, but I might have to stop and start this over again. Shit. Yeah, there's another example of trials. You feel down on your luck, like nothing's going your way. But the Capricorn energy keeps on keeping on. Similar to that Scorpio energy, and no matter how many times you fall, you keep on getting up. That is a bit like the Capricorn energy. It's not the most fun and pleasant. I wish I could tell you different. But to remain strong, I'll fix my battery. Yeah, we can still talk. It's a good time to just keep on keeping on, my brother. Keep on keeping on, my sister. Come on, people now. Smile on each other. Everybody get together. Come and love one another right now. It is the legit devil card in the tarot. Or it could also be Sagittarius. I've seen Sagittarius as that because it has to go with the letters of the Hebrew alphabet, which come from Phoenicia before, which is the letter Samek. Samek is related to the angel Samael, which is Mars, who's exalted in Capricorn. The warrior Mars, exalted in Capricorn. Because it is our fiery ego that is controlled, formed, fashioned, and at service to defend, protect the structures that are good and true. Now, we've experienced for the past freaking many years the planet Pluto, who has gone through Capricorn. Capricorn has to do with our institutions, of our structures, authority, worldly power. So Pluto goes through and it condenses, it purifies, and it pulverizes, and it concentrates that energy. What we saw with the pandemic was a concentration of wealth, power being transferred even more so from the people to the small percentage of the powerful elites. Now that's kind of depressing, but we can also say that within our lives we were shown what's essential. Essential workers, our family, our relationships perhaps got put through a real trial and tribulation period. It could have served to strengthen it, or it could have served to show the weaknesses in it. It is not a fun energy, Pluto, but it is ultimately, hopefully, about breaking down the shackles that enslave us so that we're ultimately liberated from them. It's the idea of being attached to the things of this world through perhaps addictions, and then going cold turkey. The idea that purgatory is a time where you go through a cleansing of the senses because you don't have a physical body, but you still have those attachments, unhealthy ones, that have to be purged. And that's not a fun part. But before we get to Capricorn, the season that we're in, where Mercury just entered into today, where Mars entered into a couple of days ago, we still have behind it the sign of Sagittarius, who is housing Venus. Venus being just one sign behind the sun means it's in the 12th house to the sun, which means it's hidden. So although we might not be feeling that love and that inspiration, it's hidden. You might be able to tap into it in your dream realm, in your contemplative meditation life. If you're able to go through the body, not escape the body, go through it and get to that love that's hidden in the subconscious. That flame, just remember the things that what we're living for. And it's going to have to be something that's more than just yourself. When we're just living for ourselves and to fulfill our own sensual desires, those aren't bad in themselves, but when that's solely what we're here to do, and we're just going from one appetite fulfillment to the next, that is climbing down the mountain into hell. We want to be climbing up the mountain to the top through perseverance, fortitude. We just want to make sure what are we could be going through that in our work life. The Capricorn often starts at the bottom and they work themselves up to the top by showing up every day and putting in the work. What's even strong in the spiritual life through spiritual discipline, when a Capricorn takes that mentality to that, then you're working up the mount of the cycle of life, of the spiritual mount. The Capricorn could often get just so very much about the world and practicality, where they're not inclined to a life of that's open to the spiritual. But we all do our spiritualness in our own ways. Capricorn just does it, the spiritual world, more in the flesh, which is why we have the incarnation in the Christian mythos expressed at the beginning of Capricorn season. It's the idea of God, that's infinite, clear light that has taken on human flesh. This mortal coil serves as an instrument for us to grow our spirit, to create a beautiful soul. The Capricorn will often just get so concerned about the material world that they're just thinking about making money or having sex, to be honest. But within all of us, we all have the zodiac, the 12 signs, the planets, sun, the moon, the stars. Just those of us who have heavy Capricorn energy, we will find more adversarial opposition, which can ultimately be a strength, a motivating factor to us to get on the spiritual, soulful path of what is really important. Because ultimately, this material world fades away. That doesn't make it unimportant. It's important because with it, we get a chance to build our soul and to increase in spirit. So it's a great gift in that way. But ultimately, this present form that we're in will suffer decay and death. That is a reality check of Capricorn season, of Saturn stuff. We have an opportunity to see where have we been giving away our authority to others, to other things, other people in our life, and we can reclaim our sovereignty, which is what we need to do. It's called growing up, something I hate to do. Taking responsibility, commitment. My Sagittarius moon don't like them things. But my Capricorn ascendant has it such that I will ascend whence I take on those things. Your ascendant is the sign that's on the horizon when you first took your breath of air in this sublunar realm. And those characteristics of that sign is what your secret ascension powers are in the ascendant. Your map to rise, the rising sign. Your sun is your the light, the characteristics of the light that you do it in. Similar to the ascendant, but unique in itself. The moon, the emotional fuel that we have to purify and use to propel us up. Really, the esoteric traditions hold that this is a school. That the 12 signs of the zodiac, the 12 labors of Hercules, the 12 pillars of Samson. I want to talk to Samson. Fly me to the moon, get lifted. Because it's hard being white and gifted. Dave Chappelle. Oh, let us hearken unto the planet Saturn and ask for some grace. Help us in the construction of our earthly temple, that we might, what rhymes with grace, make this a beautiful place. It's the sign of the architect, the grand architect, Saturn in Capricorn of the world. Now next week, we go to Aquarius, which is the mastermind of the mainframe, the all-encompassing mind of God. Right now, we're in the practical mentality of the massive, the collective worldly body, Capricorn. And then we'll ascend to the mind. So it's putting in the work, putting your head down and doing the work, even though it might seem like this far off, distant goal, but doing it anyways. Even though things might seem unfair, unjust, it may seem like we are very well in the valley of the shadow of death. We are encouraged with that undying light to carry it up to the top of Mount Olympus. Let us transform our suffering into the salvation of this world. For the souls in purgatory. It means sacrificing the fulfillment of our sensual desires for the fulfillment of the desires of the soul. And when we do it in our own unique, perhaps seemingly small and insignificant ways, it reverberates a loud, mighty thunderclap throughout all the ends of the earth. Help us, Lord Saturn El of the Elohim, to proceed in fortitude through the dark, through the cold. Help us to be warmth for those who too are in the cold. Help us to be a reason of hope for those who are hopeless. Let us not lose courage, lose faith, though the world around us looks hellacious. Let us remember that where there's life, there is hope. Thank you for being here at the Aquarian service. We will keep on marching till the end. Though the world around us looks like it's crumbling down before us, let us rebuild in harmony.